primal squat. It's something we all should be doing at least 25 to 30 minutes a day. And of course, if you've got sore back, sore knees, you can still do it. It's something that you'll just build up to. Don't do like a whole 30 minutes at once. If you need to have the support, like if you're outside in nature, you can grab onto a tree and just squat down. It's great, like when you're doing your social media, you're on your telephone, you just get down there and squat. We have to start doing it, like I said, for at least 30 minutes a day. So what a great way to massage our cabbage when we're making our sauerkraut. So here we've got green and red cabbage. We've picked it out of harvested it out of our garden this morning. So it's lovely and fresh. We're combining the green and the red. So you know the way with sauerkraut that we just cut it. We don't cut it too thin, because if we cut it too thin, well, the mighty invisible organisms, the microbes, they will eat the sugar, because their food is in here, the sugar and the starch. They'll eat it out so fast that it'll just be way too sour for your taste buds. And if you do it too thick, if you cut it too thick, well, you make the job too hard for them. And then you'll only have it fermented in little parts. And you'll basically be eating probably coleslaw rather than sauerkraut. So make it easy for them, and just make it nice little bits. Any of these little chunky core bits, you can just break it with your hands. So if you're doing like a fruit sauerkraut, do keep the fruit to a minimum. So like 2 apples, 2 little small apples, to like say half a green cabbage and a quarter of a red cabbage, a little bit of turmeric and a little bit of ginger. Today we're using some nashi as well as the little tiny apple. You can use like Fuji fruit. That's really lovely. So that's a really great little mix. So there we've put the apple and the pear in. Now we'll put the turmeric and the ginger. That's produced enough liquid there all by itself. So there's no need to add any brine. We'll put that into an oxygen-free container. When you're doing your primal squat, make sure that your feet are facing forward, because they will splay out. So bring them forward in line with your shoulders. That's all you have to do. So like if you're inside, you could grab a door, a nice sturdy door, and hang on to the door until you get used to being able to just squat down. You can squat anywhere. You can squat when you're waiting for the bus. You can squat when you're in the line in the bank. There's so many places that you'll be able to squat, and you'll get your 30 minutes in really quickly. Well, what a great way to make sauerkraut. Hey, squatting and sauerkraut making. So what we have to do is we've got to compress that in there so it's really tight. We've got to suffocate the cabbage. Suffocate it. That's what you have to remember. It's got to be covered in its own brine. No little air pockets. So just always press it down. Always covered in its own brine, and all will be fine. So press. We'll slide down a few little slices of apple there. You can use those. We'll put a few little flowers. Put the little garden in there. A few little bay leaves out of my garden. It'll look nice. You can eat those edible flowers and the fermented bay leaves. Here's my little pounder going. There's no need to actually pound your cabbage. This is just there to press it down. Of course, your fist will do the same job. It's a really good little compressor. We leave a little bit of space because the carbon dioxide is going to be produced there as part of the technique and the process, and that'll bubble up so it can expand a little bit. So you need to give it a little bit of room for that expansion. Pour all the brine that it's produced itself in there, so it's all nice and covered. Then we need to cover the top. We need to put a weight on it so that it keeps it all nice and compressed down there. What makes a really good weight is the outside cabbage leaf. Make sure that that's under that brine. You're not going to eat that outside leaf that's going to be discarded. Its purpose is just as a weight. I'm coming off my feet there. When you're in your squat, you stay down on it. I've come back up there. So there you have fruit sauerkraut. Now, when we put that away, you'll put that onto a saucer. So a little saucer so that it can catch if any overflow does come off. You don't open it up, there's no burping of these babies. It's all set there, so any little overflow that comes, you just discard that off your saucer, keep that nice and clean, keep it covered, put like a nice little dark cotton tea towel or something that breathes, or like a little pickle bag. You can put it into a pickle bag. Oh, I'm getting a bit noisy there. And that'll keep all the light off it, and then that just pops into your cupboard, and that's where it'll sit. You could check, because that's got fruit, it's going to ferment a lot faster than your normal sauerkraut. It'll like this sauerkraut here, that's your turmeric and fennel. You can see it's ready, all the bubbles have stopped bubbling. This has been out for about 6 weeks. So you'll see the colours all changed, even the outside cabbage leaves. This was a Savoy cabbage. So what we do is when we're taking that out, we do get the moisture out of it, because you want to keep that moisture in there. So give that a really good squeeze. We discard these outside leaves because their purpose was solely there as the weight. And that's now ready to go into the fridge. It's all beautiful. It's not, I've left one leaf in there. It's still got nice little crunch without being too soft. And the colours all change, even though it's got turmeric there. You'll find that the green cabbage, like when it's fresh, it's like that colour. That, of course, it's hard to see because it's got turmeric on there. But the turmeric has really taken over. You find that the colours just really transform. This little sauerkraut here is a sweet potato sauerkraut. I had the outside cabbage leaf there, so that comes off. When you put a cooked product in there, you keep it right down there under the brine. That's a lovely sauerkraut. My grandma always made sauerkraut and she'd put a layer of cooked potato in there. So I've substituted cooked potato with cooked sweet potato, and that's got little flowers there. You can see that the cabbage, it's gone to like a beige colour. So it's really well and truly ready. So that's ready to pop into the fridge. This is a fruit one like that we made, and it had lots of little stars and hearts. You can see you can't even notice them now. The colour's just all gone to that one red colour. The bubbles have all stopped. We'll take out, in this case, we had a weight of a proper glass dunker weight, which keeps it all submerged. I did put a few little leaves in there. I'll take those out. So it's all ready to go into the fridge and ready to be eaten. So back to your fruit sauerkraut. Well, these ones have all been out anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks, but the fruit one will ferment a lot faster, so you could check it at the 14-day mark. If it's to your sour taste bud, just do what I just did there and refrigerate it, and you have beautiful fruit sauerkraut. Don't forget to get into the habit of doing your squats when you're doing your sauerkraut making. And you'll do 2 things at once because it helps our bodies. Of course, the food helps our bodies as well. Love and bacteria.